Hi, dear language learners. So imagine this situation. You are in your holiday destination in Italy, taking a lovely evening walk, enjoying the climate, the views, everything, when suddenly a dog comes running towards you and the dog owner shortly behind, him or her. So what would you say in this situation? Hi, and welcome to the channel. I'm Dr. Alex. I'm a social psychologist, language coach, and I'm a polyglot speaking four languages fluently and currently learning my fifth language, Italian. Please make sure to subscribe to this channel if you're also about to learn Italian and if your aim is fluency. If you want to speak quickly and if you're not keen on doing grammar first, if you're happy to learn some grammar, but first of all focus on fluency, this is your channel. I'm basically sharing on this channel all the best of social psychology to make your language journey or language learning journey towards fluency far easier, joyful, and actually have you speak with unshakable confidence. Now, today we're going to learn three very easy sentences or go-to phrases that you can basically use in situations like that. In situations like that where you don't have time to look up any sentence, where you can't pull out your mobile phone to look up a sentence, where you can't prepare, but things that you need to have ready even on A1, A2 beginners level, which is my level in Italian. So we're going to follow, as usual, the steps of the Everyday Nano method. Those of you who are new, please feel free to check out on my website as well, the Everyday Nano method, which is a method that allows you to tap into high-speed memory because your brain will focus so much more if you use these hacks. Now, as those of you who are regular viewers will know this, hack number one is always to focus on a real situation that you will have in the future. So a future memory, in this case, a dog running towards you. Let's hope this is not happening to any of us. Or a real memory from the past. And in my case, yes, this has happened to me. And not only because I own a dog myself, this can happen to you also if you don't have a dog. So we want to then only focus on very few phrases. That's the hack number two, which we will simulate just now. So the everyday nano principle also is about just very tiny bits and pieces every day rather than nothing and then study 2 hours for I don't know, for a Saturday afternoon. You need to have everyday nano exposure to the language and many, many repetitions. So if you're ready, let's do this. And I have had this situation, so I really was wondering what would I say first of all to get in touch with people in that situation. I will, as always, activate ChatGPT. You can use any other AI tool to do that, basically. But for me at the moment, this is the most convenient one, so I switch on the voice mode of ChatGPT. Hi there, ChatGPT, are you there?
Hey there, I'm absolutely here to help. What can I do for you today?
Great. We're going to practice a situation to practice Italian A1, A2 level, so very simple sentences, please. The situation is basically I'm walking down a road in an Italian lovely city and a dog is running towards me. Please, can you first of all give me three very easy go-to sentences that I could say if I want to get in touch with the dog owner who is also running behind the dog? And then let's practice a real situation.
Absolutely, that sounds like a fun scenario. Here are three simple phrases you could use in Italian. One, scusi, il suo cane è molto carino, which means, excuse me, your dog is very cute. Two, il cane è scappato, which means, did the dog run away? Three, posso aiutarla, which means, can I help you? We can definitely practice with these. Let me know when you're ready.
Okay, thank you, but that's not really what I would say. Uh, Hang on. Dear viewers, by the way, you need to always also start from what you would really say in your current language. So, what I would actually say in this situation is, excuse me, I'm really scared right now. Can you help me? Something like that. Can you give me a sentence like that? Imagine dear ChatGPT, imagine the dog is running towards you. What would you say?
Got it. So if you're feeling a bit scared and want to say that in Italian, you could say something like "Scusi, ho paura, può aiutarmi," which means "Excuse me, I'm scared. Can you help me?" Hopefully that fits the situation a
Ah,
bit
thank
better.
you. Okay. So let's repeat that. So let's do some repetition. So that would be scusi as the polite form of excuse me. And then o paura is like I have fear. And what did you say then? Puoi aiutarmi? Aiutarmi? ChatGPT, are you still there?
Absolutely, I'm here. So yes, you got it right. The phrase is "Scusi, ho paura, può aiutarmi," and "può aiutarmi" means "Can you help me?" You're doing great. Let me know if you want to repeat it again or practice something else.
Okay, so that's the first one. So I'm a bit fearful. Can you help me, please? Then what would you say if the situation is more relaxed? Like I would probably myself, I would say buongiorno, come stai? I would also say, could you please put your dog on the leash because I'm a bit fearful. Can you give me that sentence?
Of course. So in a more relaxed way, you could say "Buongiorno, come stai?" Which means "Good morning, how are you?" And then you can say "Potresti per favore mettere il tuo cane al guinzaglio? Ho un po' di paura." That means, could you please put your dog on a leash? I'm a bit scared.
Okay.
Hopefully that.
That's great. Can you repeat that? And so I will repeat it three times. So the sentence, puoi mettere il tuo cane. What was the leash again? Can you repeat the sentence?
Absolutely. The sentence is "Potresti per favore mettere il tuo cane al guinzaglio? Ho un po' di paura."
Guinzaglio. Guinzaglio. Okay, that's quite difficult. I need to repeat that. Guinzaglio.
You got it. It's definitely a bit of a tricky word, but you're doing great. Let's try it again. Guinzaglio. Feel free to practice.
Guinzaglio. Okay. So basically, the sentence would be: Scusi, potresti mettere il tuo cane al guinzaglio?
Exactly, you've got it. And then you can add "Ho un po' di paura" if you want to say that you're a bit
Okay.
scared. Uh,
Ho un po' de paura. Ho un po' de paura.
you've got it perfectly. Well done. If you ever want to practice more phrases or any other situation, just let me know.
Thank you. And now we need a third sentence for that situation. Like, how would you say? What I would normally say was, I was gonna run away or something like that to kind of lighten up the situation, to make the other person laugh. So, um, when the situation lightens up, I would probably then say, thank you so much for putting your dog on the leash. Otherwise, I was going to run away. That's for the case if the dog is actually really nice. How would you say that?
That's a great way to lighten the mood. In Italian, you could say something like "Grazie mille per aver messo il tuo cane al guinzaglio, altrimenti stavo per scappare." That means thank you so much for putting your dog on the leash, otherwise I was going to run away. It definitely adds a bit of humor to the situation.
Okay, can you repeat these great two sentences very slowly, please?
Of course. Here we go, nice and slow. The first sentence, "Scusi, potresti mettere il tuo cane al guinzaglio? Ho un po' di paura." And the second sentence, "Grazie mille per aver messo il tuo cane al guinzaglio, altrimenti stavo per scappare." Feel free
Altrimenti
to.
stavo per scappare. Grazie mille per aver messo il tuo cane al guinzaglio, altrimenti stavo per scappare.
That was fantastic. You've got the pronunciation down really well.
Thank
If you
you.
ever want to practice more,
Yes, I would like to practice a real situation now. Can you please play the dog owner and we do the whole situation and then we just have very short time. I need to react. So the dog is running towards me and I start. I say, Buongiorno, you're the dog owner. Buongiorno.
Buongiorno. Oh, I'm sorry, my dog is a bit excited. Let me just put him on the leash. Sorry about that.
Yes, but you would, of course, say that in Italian, okay? Can we play the whole situation in Italian? So let's have you, as the Italian dog owner, start the conversation in Italian.
Certo, facciamo così. Allora, io sono il padrone del cane. Buongiorno, mi scuso, il mio cane è un po' vivace. Adesso lo metto al guinzaglio. Così qua.
Buongiorno, grazie mille per aver messo il tuo cane al guinzaglio. È molto, how do you say that? Molto gentile? È molto gentile?
Sì, esatto, hai detto perfettamente. È molto gentile. Grazie mille. Se hai bisogno di altro, sono qui. Ottimo lavoro.
Okay, grazie. And how do you say again, if I then have to say goodbye, it would be buona giornata per te?
Yes, exactly. You can say buona giornata per te,
Oh,
which means have a
ciao, buona giornata. Okay, let's do that again. In this case, you just start with buongiorno, I say something, and then you give the explanation about your dog. So you're the Italian dog owner. Please start.
Certo, iniziamo. Buongiorno. Oh, mi scuso, il mio cane è molto vivace oggi. Adesso lo
Buongiorno.
metto.
Ok, grazie mille. Avevo un po' di paura e però mille grazie, grazie mille per aver messo il tuo cane al... Oh God, can you tell me again the name for the leash, please? Gin...
Of course, it's guinzaglio. You're doing great,
Guinzaglio.
and you've taken.
Guinzaglio. Okay, I repeat that whole thing. Dear viewers, repetitions are really important. Ok, grazie mille per aver messo il tuo cane al guinzaglio. Was that correct? Can you tell me?
Yes, that's absolutely correct. You did a great job. Keep it up, and if you ever want to practice more or need any corrections, I'm here to help.
Thank you so much. So, dear viewers, have you seen the principle? This was a real situation that I have lived in another language already, and I now know the pattern. So this is all about pattern recognition, right? About three easy sentences, go-to sentence that I would be able to pull out in, hopefully this doesn't happen again, but if that type of situation happens, I would know how to express my fear. I would know how to say, have a good day. I would know how to react basically. The whole aim with this as well is not to freeze and to say something in that language. When you then, when the, so in this case, if the dog owner had continued talking to you, then of course you can pull out your standard patterns for saying, oh, scusi, potresti parlare un po' lentamente. You also have to then have sentences ready to basically explain sto imparando l'italiano. So all these are basically patterns that you can use in type situations. So the everyday nano method helps you to prepare for that. Either you use, and my recommendation is really think about what you have lived through yesterday or today, or what you will have as a situation tomorrow. Focus on that. And then use standard sentences, patterns that you would always say in your native or current language that you speak in frequently. And then have these as something that you write down if you're very visual type, or that you repeat the whole day so that you get the repetitions as well, and focus on only 5 minutes per day. That's basically the combination that you need to have, because you will actually direct your brain to preparing for real situation. situation, sorry. And as soon as you actually activate sense making in real situations or like survival mode in real situations, your brain will have the signal this is really important, and therefore it will actually memorize that far easier. Now, the frequently asked question is, but when do I actually then learn the grammar? Will I not learn the language in a complete false way? Of course, you will learn the grammar, but you will learn it at the end of this. So only if you have done these kind of repetitions, you then look up, okay, for example, what I would do now classically, I would look up the conditional, for example. I would look up why is it potresti in this case? How is the conditional formed? And I will remind myself in context of that situation, how do I form the second person singular of the conditional to say, could you instead of can you, and to sound more polite. And I would look up only that and then leave it. I would not go into studying the whole conjugation table of the conditional. That is very important in this example because you want to stay with very small, easy to remember patterns that you can repeat many times. And the grammar, what it does sometimes, if you go too much into the grammar, is it creates overwhelm. And overwhelm signals to your brain, oh God, this is so complicated. And next time you want to go back to your Italian study or to your language study, you will then have procrastination. And the everyday nano method basically does everything to have you avoid procrastination, overwhelm, and this kind of demotivating feeling that kicks in when you think about grammar. What we need to focus on is these fantastic motivational moments when we have first real situations where we can actually communicate already. That is the aim. And don't worry, as always, about the mistakes. They are normal. As soon as you make a mistake, either the native speaker or the person you're talking to will correct you, or you can ask them to kindly correct you, or you can say, I wanted to say this. Can you please tell me how this is called in Italian? And so you will actually move forward, you will progress. The everyday nano method is also about the growth mindset. It basically has this principle of 5 minutes or 1 minute per day is better than nothing. So you progress every day. It also puts you into this acceptance that you learn so much quicker through mistakes. This is how children learn their first language. And also, it kind of accepts that we're human beings. We're not robots aiming for perfection in grammar. So, the Everyday Nano method actually integrates your language learning into your life. So, please let me know, as always, in the comments how this resonates with you. Drop me also a comment what you are doing in your everyday study routine. And if you haven't yet, have a look at my website. I have a study routine planner online as well. I think in this summer, I have also a giveaway. Please write to me. If I remember correctly, we have a giveaway online. So as soon as you drop a comment, I send you a discount code and you get the study routine planner for free. So enjoy, have a lovely Italian speaking practice experience, and let me know how this resonates. And thanks again for watching, and see you in the next video.